now know, my dad got here on December 10th to my house with stage 6 Alzheimer's and dementia. He's not stage 6 anymore. He was unable to communicate, read, write, do math. He's doing all of that now. And so, and you guys that were in the V9 study, he didn't get his V9, but he did start using the touch. And in the beginning of the calls, you guys saw he couldn't even sit up straight. He was not talking or any of that. So Dad said he wanted to say a word today. So Dad, see if we can get you in there. There you are. So you want to tell them a little bit about how you think the frequencies have helped you and what you think about what's happening?
Oh, the healing is really going well, very well. It's part of it is that you have all these children, and because then she has that saying up, and that and other things that, but she made that it really to him he wanted to really be good.
Mm-hmm. He is dad. Dad is if you've never worked with Alzheimer's dementia, sometimes they speak in third person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And he was so happy about that. I say do things like that too. I mean,
sounds too good to be true, is what he said.
Yeah.
But it's not, because you're experiencing it, right?
Yeah.
Amen. His doctor was here. He comes every month and they check his blood pressure and do blood work, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. He took him off another medication. He was on 8 medications whenever he got here December 10th. He's down to 1, and that one's on the way out. So we are incredibly excited and proud of him. Welcome. I love about the touch for me that it's opening it up so much more spiritually. Like if I go into my quiet time having after a touch session, it's amazing to me, even just in general when I'm not in my quiet time. That's one of my favorite parts, if not my favorite part, because I've probably come off of at least 9, maybe 10 prescriptions. I should count for the testimony, because I was not great whenever I started with frequencies. So I've come off a bunch too, and that's amazing. But the spiritual part, the connection that has opened up is just so incredibly profound. So I just wanted to share that.
However, I'm one of those because I've been in the wellness space for so long, been pretty healthy. Didn't know what I would get, what kinds of results that I would have. But that's the power of these calls. My spiritual has broadened immensely. Thank you, Stephanie. My mom died of Alzheimer's, so I know this is the prevention, so I am not going to get. Sometimes it's not the things you have, but the things you're not going to get. But for my own self personally, my knees are better. I have more focus. Just in general, feeling more alive. So I am loving it.
That were really exciting this week. It's nice to have something happen right away. And for some reason, I was nauseous one morning, and I realized I had not done the touch yet. So I sat down with it, and while I was doing the session, my nausea went away, and I was so excited about that. It also helped pain in my knee, which I guess I'm like Barbara. I don't really have a whole lot of pain, but I did have pain in my knee that day. I think we had ridden paddle boats with my granddaughter, and so it worked on that. And also it wasn't while I was doing the session, but it did stop it later on. I didn't have pain. And also I discovered that if I use the touch at night, it doesn't make me anxious like it did when I was first using it at night. And it's actually very relaxing. And I mean, I've gone to sleep with it even during the day, but it does work at night as well for me. So I'm glad to do that. And I like using the laptop because my volume is higher on my laptop, and I really like that. So when I can, I use my laptop, but usually my phone. So thanks everyone, and good luck. That's it.
So I call it a dog wreck, and just destroyed my knee. And it's one that I've, like the touch has been healing and healing and healing. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have a new knee. Well, they shattered my meniscus and tore my ACL. So of course I'm back to the doctor, and he's like, it's time. He said, although, with the damage you just had done, the arthritis is worse than that. That was not quite 2 weeks ago. And today I can walk almost normally. I thought I was going to be using crutches or a walker till the surgery, which is scheduled the 24th. Last night I told my husband, I said, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing the surgery. I said, this is just going so well. The only thing is it feels so good that I'm not being careful enough sometimes. And so if I twist my knee a little, then it won't hold me up. And there's a little pain, but nothing like what they're saying I should be having. I mean, the doctor is telling my husband my arthritis is so bad. And my husband's like, she's not in that much pain with it, and I know it's the touch. But I've been showing my kids, because I'm still trying to get them to join in with the issues that they have. And I was showing my daughter, who is now not a member, but a subscriber. And I was showing her some before and after pictures of my arthritis. And like, I have one little finger that they all comment on. I don't know if I broke it at one time or dislocated or what, but it has a big joint on it. And they always kind of give me a bad time. So, oops, I'm sorry, I almost dropped my iPad. So I was showing them the before picture and showing them my hand, my finger. And my daughter's like, Mom, go back and let me see that picture and put your hand there. And I put my hand there, and it was like she didn't even notice the arthritis. She said, look at your skin. Look at your skin. Your skin is so much nicer. And this past weekend, my son was here, and he goes, Mom, you're as old now as your mom was when she passed away. And your skin, you are so, your skin feels nicer than hers ever did, that I remember, and like, I've been showing my husband, like, because I have a lot of before and after pictures, and I've been showing my husband some of them. And this morning I said, look at these scars from this surgery and this, and look at this. And he goes, well, that's interesting. And I said, no, that's the touch, and they're fading, they're going away. And I can tell that where I had from a surgery, I had a really heavy scar, and I can feel that it's the thickness underneath is gone. You can still see the scar, but the thickness underneath is gone. And when I fell, when the dogs crashed into me, I fell and I hit my head really hard. You could hear it crack. And because of the brain injuries that I've had in the past, that just panics me. I never even got a headache, not a headache. And I mean, I've just been, since the touch, that I've not had a headache since 2008. And so to not get a headache from a hard hit, now, I mean, usually if I just get a little one, I'll get a headache. It never even hurt. It was not even like I ever bumped it. So I was really, really happy about that one too. So, I have an iPad and I have a laptop. I put the laptop at night on one side of me, the iPad between my husband and I on the other side, and they both go at night when we go to bed. And every time I even almost wake up a little, I turn them both back on. And it's, I'm like, I think this might be overdoing it a bit, because it's keeping me awake, because I know subconsciously, I'm thinking I want to turn it on again. So I'm not getting good sleep like I had before, but the healing that I'm getting is worth it.
It's been an interesting journey lately, because I am late for that time of the month again. But I get a feeling that it has more to do with that the touch is kind of working on my body. It's kind of going up and down and kind of trying to bring things back into balance and working on my hormones. That seems to be where it's working on a lot, but I seem to be having, I was having a lot more seizure sensations, smaller ones, stuff like that. But there is something interesting that I would like to share, is that the grand mal seizure sensations. Now, I've spoken before about how they were very quick to come kind of before I started with QHS. And they were still quick for a while, where I was getting panic attacks. You know, I would have like a really strong state of fear and then blackout. And then that's when the grand mal seizure would happen. And for the last couple weeks, I have been doing the ionic foot bath, which has been helping, and it's been getting a little bit lighter in the coloring. And what's been curious is that since working with the touch as much as I have, mixed with, you know, just having my V6s and V9 on, I've been noticing that when I've had pre-grand sensations, they're very slow. And they're very, we'll just knock on wood for that, right? But they seem to be very slow. And I actually have time to like get out my CBD, take some if I need to. Also turn off all my devices, take them off, get the touch, and put it on my head or my body, wherever, however I use it. And I actually have time to do that, and I'm calm during it, which was not very common, which I know when I'm having an issue, but and then I'll, you know, sit with the touch for as long as it'll let me, typically the 18 minutes. And generally I'm okay afterwards. Sometimes I'll take CBD with it, sometimes I won't, but I have prevented, within these last couple of weeks, I have prevented a lot of grand mals by using the touch. There's been a lot of prevention also with seizure sensations, stuff like that. So we're working on it. And another thing is that I have better clarity. I feel like especially when I'm working with the touch and meditating with the touch, the clarity is very, very good. It's kind of off the charts, which is really good. And the touch, I feel like it's been really working with me. I feel like I'm kind of one of those interesting cases. It seems to be going everywhere, basically. In the sense where you know, went to my brain. It was because it's focusing on the seizure. So it's like, okay, we're going here. All right. We know what needs to get out, but we're trying to get it out. So we're trying to figure out how to work with the systems and what to do. So now it's been working a lot with the last couple of weeks on the endocrine system, and especially just the hormones in general. So all the systems and kind of how they all work together with hormones. I'm just really grateful that it's able to go different places, you know, and it's figuring out, it's literally learning my body, it's learning me, and it's learning my system. So it knows, it's figuring things out that I was never able to, that doctors were never able to, that other people were never able to figure out. And by doing that, it gives it an edge, you know, and it has access to all layers and levels of me. So it's able to look at the energetic level, look at, you know, how it's going in the quantum, how it's going in the physical, how it's going in the mental. So it's able to take all of these aspects. And, you know, I mean, I've done a lot of trauma clearing, you know, I've done a lot of that as well to help with this process. So, and the clarity, you know, gives me clarity on what to go, where to do things. So it's been fun. And the last thing I want to also mention is that if anyone ever has trouble in the shower with whatever their issue is, because that's what I had, was shower issues when it comes to seizures. That's where a lot of them had happened. I was like, I wonder if there's a way that I can have the touch on while I'm in the shower. So I actually got a case, like a waterproof case for my cell phone. And I just turn on the touch. I put it in there and then I turn on the touch and I just put it in the shower with me. And so this last time that I was in the shower, I was actually able to take a shower. I had like I could feel some tiny little things maybe here and there, but I did what I normally do. I took some CBD before I went in, but I was able to turn the water hotter than I normally do, which was awesome, which I like to experiment. Jace and my mom are not as fans of me experimenting all the time. But you know, sometimes you got to experiment to figure things out. But it was just a really amazing thing because I was able to stay in longer. I was able to really, you know, just do things, wash my hair and just be in the shower without having problems. And I did it. I did it, you know, double time or whatever. When it stopped, I just started it again. But it was just so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can actually shower now without freaking out, you know, or having problems. And it gives Jace, I think, a little bit more, my boyfriend, a little bit more you know, reassurance in that way too. He's still on edge, but it's been a really interesting journey lately. And I really do feel like there is massive progress with the seizure stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting rid of them entirely. But I had never ever felt that in my life. It was always massive fear, panic, so intense, so quickly, so strong. And it's like I didn't even have time to basically think or to register what's going on. So the fact that I'm able to actually think and be able to grab the phone, you know, and take off the other devices and just, I was never able to do that before. So the fact that I can do that now is just, it's huge. So I just want to share that with you guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, on all the calls I've ever been on with all QHS, this is total emotional. I've cried 3 times. I just want to let you know with Stephanie and Dennis, my heart is with you. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's. And I just think thank you for sharing that. And I was in the hallway when Aria came out of the bathroom. And you think that she just did the rocky stairs and got up there and went, because she did. And it was so cool because I've been the recipient of there with her by myself, and she has to take a shower, and I could not get her. She was sliding out of my arms, and we went onto the floor together, and it is not a pretty sight. So when she figured out that she needed this thing, I'll tell you what, if you know of anybody who has seizures, get them on this touch. I mean, I'm telling you that in the shower, I mean, we started, Jace, myself, Brenda, and Aria, we all thought, oh, this is going to be great. Let's get rid of the seizures. So we all joined. I know I'm speaking for myself. I know I joined to make sure and support her. I didn't know what I was going to get from it. I didn't care what I was going to get from it. I just wanted to make sure and support her. So I'm here to tell you that just having her come out of the shower and having her stand out in the hallway and go, yes, guess what I just did? That's why we're here. I'm telling you, I lost it. I said, oh, great. I'm so happy for you. And then I went in my own bathroom and just cried my eyes out because I was so excited. But you know, you don't know what you're going to get from all of this. You don't know what you're going to, I mean, I'm looking at Robbie. I had a dog fall also, and I was able to ice and fall. I mean, all of these things, I'm so related to everyone that's spoken today. And if we just all sit and listen for a minute, we can energetically celebrate with everybody that's going through this stuff. because I was sending all kinds of good vibes out to Robbie and to Stephanie and to Dennis and just giving you these great big hugs. And I'm writing little notes on all these things I'm grateful for while it's going on. So, wow. I mean, we are truly all connected. And I just wanted to say thank you for everybody sharing. And thank you, Tracy, for saying, hey, I really want to get us back so that we're doing these calls, because you know what? I need it. Everybody else needs it. I'm sure that we're all, I mean, if anybody hasn't cried today, I'm here to tell you that you may not be listening all the way, but I've lost it 3 times, well, now 4 times. So I just want to say thank you to everyone sharing and everyone that has come into this, maybe just for someone else, but you're getting things also. And that's what I'm in the position of. I didn't know I was going to get all this stuff. And especially the touch just ramped everything way up. And that's why it's so cool. So thank you.
Aria is here, and I wanted to let her know that she was the #1 motivation for me to start coming to the meditations and the touch talks, because I watched on YouTube the replays of these meetings, and I was just blown away. So I want to really thank you. And there's a couple other people as well, but really thank you so much. It's really inspiring to hear people's trust in their own innate intelligence in how to experiment and experience this beautiful technology that we've been given. And I also want to share, my cat is usually, I've only been using the touch for like 8 days. And my cat is usually in the room with me when I'm doing it. She's so much more energetic, and she's literally like asking me and my husband for more attention. She wants to play more. It's interesting. I did have, I'm still experimenting with how it works best for me. And I do have several different issues, probably more than several going on, physical issues. But I found that I really like using the touch on between my feet, because I have some issues with varicose veins, specifically in my feet. And I put my V6 on the top of one of my feet where it actually is a bit discolored. It almost looks like it's bruised. So I'm excited to see how that might turn around. So I'm just really filled with gratitude. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Real quick, talking about the ears, I think my hearing is getting better. Last night we did the rodeo meditation. I'm not sure if I say that right or not. And I could actually hear the whispering. Normally I have to put my earbuds in and hear to be able to hear the whispering, but I can't understand it. But I did not last night. I just used the speakers on my desktop, and they weren't very high, but I could make out what they were saying. So I think my hearing is improved.
And it doesn't start out that way. I'll be listening, and then all of a sudden it's just like the intensity gets bigger. And sometimes it's as I'm setting, like I'll set my intention obviously before I start, but I feel like, maybe it's like listening to me, going to where I want it to go. And it's just like, okay, I'm really going to go there now. And it's very interesting when that happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but I did notice the same thing, that sometimes it feels like it's just that much more intense.
To hear all the testimonies and to look on my own life and on my personal health, it makes me very humble, since I can say I'm healthy. And I'm very thankful for all the people who's opening themselves and share their life stories.